Have you ever wondered if the life you're living is truly yours? Imagine reaching the final chapter of your life only to realize you've been an actor in a play written by someone else. I read a book over 20 years ago that kept haunting me until my life fell apart 8 or 9 years ago. It's a cautionary tale that I'll never forget, and I think it's a great wake-up call. I've reflected back on it many times as I've redesigned my own life. Tolstoy wrote a short fictional story back in 1886 called The Death of Ivan Ilych. The story takes place in 19th century Russia, and it opens with the death of a man named Ivan Ilych. His coworkers hear the news and basically shrug. They're more interested in how his job opening might benefit them than the fact that he died. And that tells you a lot about the world he lived in. Shallow, status-driven, disconnected, and unfortunately, all too familiar today. Then this story goes back and tells us how Ivan lived. He came from a middle-class family and did what was expected of him. He followed the rules, climbed the ladder, and made all of the right decisions. He lived the way he thought he was supposed to. He married someone who looked good on paper, not because they were deeply in love, but because it made sense socially. And professionally, he did well. He became a respected judge, bought a nice house, and seemed to be winning at life. But in his early 40s, he has a minor accident while decorating that house. Nothing dramatic, but it turns into something serious, and over time it becomes clear that he's dying. And that's when everything he thought he knew starts to fall apart. His family doesn't really seem to care. They're more annoyed than concerned. His friends avoid him. And as he lies in bed facing the end, Ivan starts to wonder if the life he built was ever really his at all. He realizes he's been living for appearances, for approval, for status. And he asks himself a brutal question, essentially summed up as, what if my whole life has been wrong? That line, it stuck with me because it's not about one bad decision. It's about living decades doing the things that society, maybe our family and friends, thought we should do. It's about building a life that looks fine on the outside but feels hollow on the inside. It's about being disconnected from our authentic selves. And think about it. This book was written about 140 years ago. Life looked so different back then, but the struggle to live authentically was still there. This is really a timeless issue. But all of the people who were living back then, they're all gone now. So why do we take everything so damn seriously to the point that we allow ourselves to live out of alignment with our own true nature? It's all going to be over someday. What are we so afraid of? Here's the empowering truth. No matter where you are in life's journey at this point, it's never too late to rewrite your story by starting to live authentically and being true to yourself. One of the challenges for us as we get older, though, is that we do get more set in our ways, our comfort zones shrink, and it takes a lot more effort to break out of those old patterns. Now, I can relate to this story myself because I spent years as a people-pleasing nice guy who became increasingly disconnected from who I really was. I was making major life decisions based purely on logic and not trusting my instincts about what was right for me. I was going along to get along. I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to do. I was unhappy and not being true to myself. Midlife isn't the beginning of the end. It's the end of pretending. We can't fake our way through the second half. We're either aligned or we're not. And at some point, we have to decide whether we want a life that looks good on the outside or one that actually feels like ours. Ivan didn't get that chance, but we do.